be reacting to provocation or aggression.
Let's cross now to Dave Keating in Brussels. So the French and the German proposal for the EU to hold a meeting with Putin has been knocked back, and Moscow is not impressed, Dave.
Yeah, and Merkel and Macron are not impressed either. They just finished their press conferences in the European Council building behind me, and they both seemed pretty disappointed, let's say, in the other EU leaders. Merkel saying that she would have preferred a more courageous, a more bold position from the Council. Both of them were basically expressing this, that they wanted an EU-Putin summit because they didn't want the impression that the US-Russia summit, that Biden summit, he was speaking somehow for the EU. They said it's a question of European sovereignty, of this concept that's big in Brussels now called strategic autonomy, that the EU needed its own summit with Putin because it has its own interests and needs to be able to stand up for itself. But that argument fell on deaf ears last night when they explained their thinking to the other EU leaders. Basically, leaders in Central and Eastern Europe said rewarding Putin with a summit would be the wrong thing to do now when his behavior has been so bad. Now, in her press conference, Merkel questioned, well, people weren't saying that Biden was rewarding Putin for having the summit. Why are you saying that to us? And it is an interesting question. These Eastern European leaders, it was thought that at the NATO summit that took place earlier this month, they would publicly give Biden a hard time about having this summit with Putin, but they were very quiet. They were privately grumbling, but they didn't come out with any big public objection. But when it came to the EU having such a summit, there they very vocally complained. Now, of course, the difference is they have the power to stop such an EU-Russia summit, and when it came to Biden's summit, he was probably going to do it no matter what they said. So in the end, it looks like Central and Eastern European leaders felt very differently about the EU holding the summit than they did about Biden holding the summit, and there were also displeasure about the idea that Macron and Merkel thought that they could organize this summit and speak for the EU. That didn't go over well in a lot of other capitals.